suffering through the heat of the sun, wondering when the moon will show up. Mostly my life has just been dumb. Mostly my life has just been dumb. Woke up in the morning and I threw up. Woke up in the morning, I was still messed up. Mostly my life has just been dumb. Mostly my life has just been dumb. I love you, but I wish I could shut you up. I love you, but we both need to grow up. Mostly our lives have just been dumb. Mostly our lives have just been dumb. Well, friends will go and friends will come. Hell, we just buried another one. Mostly our lives have just been dumb. Mostly our lives have just been dumb. I'm trying to overcome. I'm trying to overcome. I'm trying, it's so good. I'm trying, it's so good. Mostly my life has just been dumb. 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 Mostly my life has just been dumb.
Well, this is gonna be a fun show because we're both like dying with allergies. This is gonna be one of those great ones.
Yeah, mine's really bad.
Yeah, well, I know it is, and I can already tell the video's like super glitchy. I so need a new computer.
Me too. We should have made our potato heads vampires for this week.
You know. Yeah, that would have been great because of course, we should have made it for 2 weeks ago, and then weren't able to do it that week, and then we weren't able to do it last week.
Right.
Well, actually, it wasn't. I guess this is technically still the second week. It's just it was supposed to happen a few days ago.
Yeah, which, given the way the last couple weeks have gone, I think it's fair.
Yeah, you know, it's not necessarily to the listeners, but to us, it sure is.
And don't forget that I'm gone in like another 6 weeks. I leave for a week.
I had already forgotten that. Yeah, I need to add that to my calendar.
And a week before that is my birthday and 4th of July week.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yes, I'll probably be doing something.
Get into it to win it. Come on, man. This is have some priorities here.
Right.
Podcast first.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I'm double fisting the coffee this morning because I knew I wouldn't be able to get up and go get more. So I just brought in 2 cups. and some water. TMI. Whatever. I'm sorry. we're not all keto monsters. You know, keto. I am convinced keto is the new CrossFit. Like I posted the other day that Slender Man, the movie, is this horrifying tale of a guy obsessed with CrossFit randomly finding people in the woods telling them about it. I think that might change, and like the sequel might be keto. He's now the keto CrossFit man. It's like the double whammy. He's the keto CrossFit man.
I can't.
He said.
I don't think it's reached anywhere near CrossFit levels.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, I don't know if anything ever will.
Oh my god, I hope not. You know what? You know what could though, and I think kind of did. McDonald's. I think McDonald's kind of hit CrossFit level there for a bit.
Yeah. In what way? That sounds weird.
Well, they got people going there all the time. Like it's a religion.
Yeah, they've sold like a bajillion cheeseburgers.
The bajillion. Yes, we're into the mythical numbers.
I mean, seriously. I mean, there's like, have you seen these videos of like people who are proud that they've had a Big Mac every day for like 27 years?
Oh yes, it's so bad. It's like, ugh.
I'm like, the Big Mac's not even good.
No, it's not. No. I mean, my dad, okay, so my dad used to brag about Big Macs. Oh, they're the best thing ever. Of course, I could be my real dad. He's the best thing ever. I'm kidding. He doesn't have a high voice. Sorry.
No.
He doesn't watch the podcast either, so I'm safe. You know, but, you know, he used to brag about, oh, Big Macs, they're so good. And then he got one, I don't know, I want to say like 10 years ago. It's been a long time. And he's like, this isn't even a Big Mac. What the hell happened to a Big Mac? He's like, what happened to the Big Mac? Well, this isn't a Big Mac. This is the patties are like half the size that they used to be, and the sauce is different, and this has changed. He's like, this sucks. I'm like, welcome to McDonald's of the future. This is why in Demolition Man, Taco Bell rules the world, not McDonald's.
I can't even eat Taco Bell.
I can't either, for different reasons.
Yeah, well, there's probably gluten in the meat.
There is.
So you can.
There is, and there's spices. Almost every fast food Mexican chain, almost all of them. I can't even have the meat.
Dude, that's horrible.
Because it's found in some of the binding agents of the spices. It's not the spice. It's what else they put in it to bind it all together. So it's not dripping grease running, you know, all over the place. I
finally found a place I can eat at that's kind of fast foody.
Five
yesterday.
Guys.
Well, I can't eat Five Guys, and that's amazing. If you had told me like a couple years ago that I could eat Five Guys like 3 days a week and lose weight.
Hey, Anthony, have I got a plan for you? How about you eat cheeseburgers and lose weight? Yes, I'm talking anorexia. No, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's been pretty interesting. Like that whole thing with keto has definitely changed my concept on how you, I don't know what causes me to hold weight. So
I believe they're called fat cells.
Yeah, but what's a lot of people, you know, we were kind of lied to as kids that it's all, you know, fats are bad. It's like, no, it's good fats are good.
Yeah, I don't know that we were lied to. I think it was a misunderstanding as to what ran and what controlled things. Because I mean, think about it. There's always the endless debate of butter versus margarine. Is the egg? Can you actually eat the egg yolk because it's got more cholesterol in it? Well, yes, but it's good cholesterol, and they've actually done studies that now show that eating the egg yolk is actually better for you than eating just the egg white. Like you get better results if you have the whole thing. I mean, there's always going to be these endless debates of, well, in this theory, this, and in this theory, this. I mean, even that post you posted this morning about, was it this morning or last night? I don't know, whatever.
Last night.
About, you know, losing so much weight off keto. Somebody was on there saying, oh, see, and I've lost 14 pounds this last month just eating grains and fruits and stuff. And, you know, but it's refined sugars. There's always differing opinions. And I think what we need to understand is everybody's body is different.
Yeah.
And yes, people who are listening to the audio only, Thank you for giving me your ears. Those of you watching the video are like, why are we listening to the fat one talk about this? But anyway,
Shut up.
but like everybody's body is different. We all process foods differently. We all process our energy differently, and different things are going to work differently for different people. It's really more of a case by case basis, and you need to find out what actually works for your body. And
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy for you that you found something that's not only working for you, but it seems to be helping with some other medical things that you had going on in the background. So I think that's great.
Yeah, it's actually like semi-cured like 2 issues I've had for like over 10 years in a month.
Was one of them diabetes?
No. I mean, I'm interested to go see what my blood work looks like because I'm waiting a little longer. I want to lose a little bit more weight, and then
Me too.
and then I'm going to go hit the doctor and then get my blood work done because I've had liver issues for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had fatty liver for a long time. And now I'm eating like nothing but fat, right? It's like 70% fat. And everyone's like, oh, that's what my original doctor told me was causing my fatty liver, was eating too much red meat. Now I'm eating like mostly red meat.
Right.
And I can tell my liver's healing because I was actually having like a dull throb constantly, and now I have no pain at all. So I'm like, wow, that's interesting that now it's not hurting. So I'm wondering what'll happen when I actually go see the the doctor, and get my blood work done. If my liver count's down, then I'll know it was from from sugars and grains. And then that person was saying, oh, grains aren't bad. It's like, well, we know that that a lot of grains are bad because of the way of like our culture here in the United States. We eat a ton of it. Like that's
almost all we eat. It's in everything.
Yes.
Every single meal contains a crap load of grain.
And keto isn't, I don't know, keto is kind of like a spin-off of paleo, except you're allowed to have dairy. Paleo is supposed to be like the hunter-gatherer diet where you can eat berries and fruit and this and that and everything that grows out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you can eat that. Anything that you can kill and eat, you can eat.
But it has
anything
to be
that's
raw,
processed.
Basically.
Yeah, it's supposed to be raw. You can cook meats, of course, and you can cook vegetables, but they do encourage the more raw foods.
Right.
And so keto's different in a way because it's basically it's cutting the carbs down to minimal, wherein even unrefined sugars are not allowed. So you have no carbs on this diet. I've had less than 20 carbs a day for however many months now. And I've been in ketosis because I can test my ketone levels. So I'm testing my ketone levels.
Yeah.
And it's,
by the way, are you pregnant yet? Have you found out? I'm just kidding.
No.
Tamar's texting me, sorry, because I keep checking the lights because I keep hearing a noise. I'm checking the lights. I'm like, what's going on? Oh yeah, the microwave. The microwave's on right there, like on the other side of this wall.
She's like, sorry.
It is right there. And I'm like, what the crap is it coming from your side? And I'm checking levels. I'm like, I'm paying attention to what you're saying, but I'm like checking levels. Like, what the crap's going on? And it dawns on me, oh, microwave.
Yeah.
Somebody's in the kitchen cooking something.
Yeah. But I just think it's funny that we've retrained our whole culture to live off, to build energy off sugars. And that's what grains become, is sugars.
It is.
It's just when you eat a bunch of rice, it's broken down, it becomes glucose when it's done.
That's why you get so flippin' hungry 20 minutes later. Now that's really funny. I don't. Chinese food, I can eat Chinese food, and I am good for like hours and hours. But most people, like you, most people, they eat it and like 20 minutes later, they're starving. For me, no, dude, seriously, I can have the same amount of Chinese food as you, and I'm good for like half a day. And, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's body handles it differently and processes it differently. But
the sugars for me, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I figured out that my biggest problem is sugars.
Probably.
That's why my body can't. I was just constantly hungry. So I was eating like 4 or 5 times a day, decent sized meals to keep my energy levels at a level that made sense for the work I was doing.
Yeah.
So I would eat like constantly, like all day. Now I don't eat until 12. And then my last meal is at 7.
That's crazy, dude.
So I eat in a 7-hour window. I have like one meal. In the morning, I'll have breakfast. Sometimes I'll have bulletproof coffee. And then,
which I could never do. It feels like hi, Alicia. Or
that's my
girls.
coffee.
Where's mine? I brought my own, but it's getting cold already.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Do you mind driving to Nampa?
You want to drive some to Drew in Nampa?
Anyway, so I don't even remember what I was saying now. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just saying. I just think it's very interesting that
it is.
Well, and then we didn't eat grains as a species until like 500 years ago.
Not true.
Well, at least the white European people didn't really. We weren't making bread and stuff. Oh, maybe it was earlier than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple thousand years, but still. Yeah.
Not in the amount we are.
No, nowhere near in the amount we are. No. Oh, yeah. No, I know what we were going to say.
That's what I meant to say.
Because I'm totally changing the topic because this has been an awesome pre-show, but 17 minutes of pre-show is pretty good.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's more than enough.
We should get started. And also, another side note topic that's fun. Ed Maloney wants to connect with me on Facebook Messenger. All right.
Do you know who that is?
Not a clue. Do you?
Go ahead. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I'll connect with him after the show.
You should connect with Ed because Ed is like
friends with Ed and
well,
Eddie.
he's one of my dad's friends.
Oh, I know the dude. Yeah, okay. He's the guy that does all the radio stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, your dad was telling me about him. Sounds like a cool guy. Anywho, all right, we should get started. Just so you know, I shared out the links that I shared were all the Twitch links. So I am monitoring Facebook, so you should be monitoring Twitch chat if you're not on there. Okay.
I'll check it out right now.
I figured let's bump up the Twitch channel. So
of course.
Duh. I mean, that makes sense, right? So yeah, I didn't share out any of the YouTube channels. We still got subscribers. We got people. It's all good. Hi, people. Say hi in the chat if you're in there, people. And I know we're usually Wednesday night, and it's now Saturday morning, which is totally throwing people off. So I get it. We get it. We understand. But we'll love you more if you're there right now anyway. This, because it's conditional. Anywho. I'm mean. All right, let's do a show. Let's do a show. Should we do a show? Let's do a show.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? All right. Well, let's all right. Ready, set, and on this episode of Classless Chat,
things got hairy in the pool.
Yes, they did. And what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what you are about to hear is the future of entertainment. May I present to you Classless Chat with your hosts, Drew and Anthony.
Welcome all to Patio O'Malley's Patio Furniture Emporium and Pub, where you'll enjoy the comfort of fine, handcrafted patio furniture and a fine handcrafted pint. No blarney here. You can see the quality of our outdoor furnishings. Our lounge chairs are stout, and so is the ale. This week, when you buy a new patio swing, we'll help you swing even more when we throw in a keg of our finest brew. That's right, at Patio O'Malley's, only the finest patio furniture will do. No potatoes here. That's right, no potato. Take a swing at our leprechaun pinata. One smack with Patty Shillelagh and win 50% off your purchase. You'll find us downtown Boise. Call 208-555-5555. That's right, Patio O'Malley's Patio Furniture, Emporium and Pub. You'll find the luck here today. No leprechauns were hurt in the making of this commercial.
That's right. No leprechauns were hurt in the making of this video. Sorry, dude. So Anthony's sitting here texting me like, dude, I hear nothing. I hear no music. The music is gone. I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, sorry. Dude. It dawned on me. Oh, yeah. We've been gaming Diablo 2, and I had killed the computer audio going into that box that submits for the Discord. And I'm like, oh, yeah. All right. Well, the interface isn't receiving that. I should change that. So, yeah.
That's okay.
I fixed it, but hi.
Hi.
Well, hey, welcome to Classless Chat. This is episode 50. Which is,
whoa.
I know, we finally made it. We took 2 weeks off for, I don't know, they're fair reasons for us, probably not to anybody else. But it is June 2nd of 2018, episode 50. We're finally halfway to 100. Yay!
Which is crazy.
I don't know that we're getting anything for it, but we're there.
We're having fun.
We're having fun. It's Saturday morning instead of Wednesday night. Which is throwing me off a little bit.
I wouldn't mind doing it Saturday morning, to be honest.
Saturday mornings aren't bad. I say when we get the Patreon up, I'm just going to throw this out there to people who are listening. When we get the Patreon level up to the point where we add a second show, we might add it on Saturday morning.
Yeah. That'd be good.
I'm just throwing it out there. So,
although next weekend won't work because I'm going fishing.
Ooh, where are you going?
With Cause to CJ Strike. Yeah,
CJ's a great place, man. When it's not windy. When it's windy, that place is the devil. But
yeah,
it's like that foosball. It's the devil, but it's a
right.
But it is an awesome place to go smallie fishing, dude. If you going smallmouth, is that what you're going for?
Well, just bass in general.
Yeah. All right.
There's nice largemouth in that lake too.
There are some good largemouth. They're just harder to get to, yeah. So some people are like, great, Saturday morning show's gonna be the fishing show. Well, I'm sorry, people, but yeah, it kind of is. So, I mean, Anthony, you love to bass fish. You were taking on this huge bass fishing trip a couple years ago. Or was it last year? I don't remember. I hated you during this.
It was last year.
I hated you for like a week. It was
that was the year where we had like snowmageddon and everyone here was freezing their butts off, and then I get to get on a plane and go to Florida for 2-3 days where it was 80.
Yeah, and go where they have the massive bass, the actual Bass Federation bass tournaments, and go do all this stuff. And we all hated you. It's okay. But seriously, like my stepdad, Steve, was a semi-pro bass fisherman. So we would go tourney fishing all the time. And so I learned all of the tricks and all of the things of like, where do you go for smallies? Where do you go for largemouth? What kind of baits are they doing? And how to tell the temperature of the water, what's going to be happening, what time of the season it is, whether they're going to be spawning, where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and how to read all the stuff. And so I did all of this stuff and I loved it. And I love bass fishing. It's great. I haven't been able to do it for years, but I love doing it because they fight so nice. They are a tricky fish. So for those of you who are not fishermen and those of you who are but have never done bass, so like a trout, which is like your common stream or reservoir lake fish, they just kind of pull a little bit and they just shake. Like, when you're reeling them in, you get a mild tug and they're just shaking, like trying to pull away. Bass will sometimes start that way. Sometimes they'll be on it and they'll be swimming towards you, so you won't even feel that they're on the line at all. Sometimes you'll feel the bite and then that's it. Sometimes you feel the bite and you get a tug. But anyway, once you set the hook and you're reeling on it, they'll fight it. But some of them get tricky and they'll actually come up to the boat. Like, are you guys going on a boat, I'm guessing? Or are you guys just going to bank?
Yeah, Cause has a cool little fishing boat.
Nice. So what they'll do is they'll actually swim under the boat. And you've got to be careful because they'll cut your line on your motor. So they'll actually start swimming under your boat. And sometimes you're walking around the boat trying to measure your line and getting everything down in the water, like to get it up enough. it is an actual sport fish. You really are working and fighting this thing. And sometimes you'll be sitting here reeling on it going, this has got to be like a 5 or a 6 pound fish. And you get it up and it's like maybe a pound. They just fight like crazy, man. They are
especially smallies. Smallies fight like mad.
Smallies do. That's why I loved doing the smallie. It's like Steve was always big on the largemouth because he's like, they tend to be a little bit bigger, which they do. They can.
Yeah, they are. They get a lot bigger, actually.
But at the same time, Steve, when he first started bass fishing, he went out. I don't remember where it was at, and he caught a 4.5 pound fish. And,
nice.
And here in Idaho. Which I mean, is a
they
really
get big here.
Yeah, that is a really good.
That's a great fish.
That
in
is
Idaho,
right in Idaho. That is a really good sized fish. He caught like 3 of them in a row, and he's like, "This must be normal." So he had it mounted, and now he's like elusively hunting for a 3.5, 4 pound fish again.
Yeah,
because they're hard to find.
No, I think my biggest fish here is over 5, but in California, I've caught some like
6
8s
and 7. Yeah. It's
There's
insane.
My buddy. Well, so I got very lucky because a friend through church who I knew as a youth, he's a couple of years older than me.
Excuse me.
I used to bank.
What exactly is a ute? Sorry.
Right. But this guy, I used to bank fish with a guy named Matt Allen, and Matt Allen, if anybody who knows like professional bass fishing, he's like the big mouth, the big plus 10+ pound fisherman. Like anybody who knows anything about the pro scene.
And Anthony meant largemouth, not big mouth. I'm not saying like the guy's got a big mouth. He's talking about the
bucket mouth.
Yeah, largemouth
big
fish.
Mouth. Yeah, largemouth fish.
Yeah.
So he's like the guy who catches swim bait fish, and he throws giant baits, and he catches. I think he has like at this point in time, he's got like 80 or 100 fish over 100 or over 10 pounds.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane.
And he has on video on a fishing show, he has a 5 fish limit over 50.
No way. That's insane, dude.
So so I used to bank fish with this guy before he was a pro. And anytime I have like a question or I'm like, hey man, what do you think about this? He always steers me in the right direction.
That's awesome.
And so I've been very lucky. And one year when I went back to California, I just hit him up like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, oh, I'm about to go fishing on the Delta. You want to go? Yeah. Boom. Out. We were out striper fishing for like 3-4 hours. So like I've fished with like a legit pro several times, which has been pretty awesome to fish around somebody who like that.
You suck.
Yeah. But he's legit. Like if you look him up, so his guide service is really spendy. But he gets like, professional athletes and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically coming out and fishing. Like I think, Jeremy Lin, the basketball player.
No.
No.
Do I look like I know basketball? Tamar might know who you're talking
Tamar
about.
Will know,
I don't know who you're talking about.
Jeremy Lin and his dad flew from the East Coast to fish with my buddy Matt for a weekend.
Oh, man.
And I think it was like, like $1,200. That's what he charged him or something like that.
We should do that here.
Well, we don't have the name.
No.
That's why we can't charge that.
No, but what we do is we do like we do like like celebrity fishing tours in Idaho, and like, oh, what's in Idaho? Like, is there stuff in Idaho? And we're like, yeah, there's totally stuff in Idaho. And we get like Ron Howard and like we start getting like Liev Schreiber. See, I'll see if I can pull some strings in Hollywood, and we'll get some like these big name actors to shoot some videos of us doing crap with them up here, and like having a good time. Like we'll take some quads out to the dune or something, and we'll just show them a good time for like a weekend, and start charging like $5,000 a weekend or something like that. And it's just like, we only got to do it like 5 times a year, or like we'll charge like $10,000 a weekend. We only got to do it like 5-6 times a year, and we're good. But
that's funny.
You just got to build the reputation. That's all.
Dude, this guy's such an avid fisherman. When I moved up here, he told me what lakes to fish and which ones to avoid. And he lives in California.
He knew the Idaho lakes?
Yeah. He's like, I know. He's like, don't go here. There's no bass there. Don't go here. Maybe there's some, but they're not big. Right. He's like, fish these 3 lakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where all your time should be spent if you're trying to catch giant fish.
CJ Anderson Ranch.
Yes, Anderson. It's a good lake. Yeah.
And then other than that, I mean, Brownlee, and then Owyhee, but Owyhee's more in like Oregon.
In Oregon, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but Owyhee is a big smallmouth lake.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice smallies in there.
Dude, when I go Brownlee, you know what I love to do at Brownlee?
Up north, it's Door Shack or whatever it's called.
Door Shack is awesome. Yes, that is a great place. You know what we need to do? We need one weekend this summer. We'd have to be careful with your kids, but it would be so fun if you and Alicia and your kids and myself and my kids and maybe Tamar, I don't know, we all go to Brownlee and we camp on the beach. And we catfish.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever overnight catfish? Have you ever overnight catfish? Dude, I love it. That was one of my favorite things as a kid. We would do that all the time.
This is so gross, but we used to take cans of dog food.
Ew.
And we'd throw like all the dog food into the cove, and that smell, that scent would just bring all the cats in.
Yep.
And then you just huck nasty, stinky baits out there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And you catch catfish like all night long.
Rotting shrimp. We would always go with shrimp pieces and things like that to do it. And my dad would tell stories just like, this was before the regulations changed. My dad will be Deckard Cain. Stay a while and listen. Back before the regulations changed, we used to do something that was really bad. I'm like, what was that? And he's like, we'd use WD-40 and we'd spray the shrimp with the WD-40. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Catfish are nasty.
They are, dude. And then like they don't die. They don't
die forever.
I mean,
you leave them on the beach for like a day.
Not just that, dude. Okay, so I remember the first time I went catfishing with Shannon. Okay, my late wife, for people who are listening to this, right? We caught some cats, and it was this was back when my grandparents were alive. We all went together, and we caught a few cats. And my grandpa wasn't feeling well, and my grandma was like, Drew, you take care of this one catfish. We're back to the house. It has survived in the ice chest in ice to the house. It's over 2 hours away. That thing is still alive. Drew, why don't you go ahead and take care of this and you just kill this fish? I'm like, all right. So we grab the hammer, and I kid you not, if you've never dealt with a catfish, their skull all the way back to the base of their actual head is solid. I mean, it is meant to take a beating. They are like they're scavengers at the bottom, and they just kind of go across the bottom. And so their skull is designed to hit rocks, and they don't care. They just tink and then move over and just keep going. They don't pay attention. And they're also cool to catch because they roll. They'll just sit there and they start spinning on the line. Anyway, I'm sitting here with a hammer, and I'm wham, didn't die. Wham, didn't die. Wham, and Shannon starts making fun of me, and I'm like, go for it. Like, she's 4 strikes into this, and this thing's not dead. She's like, all right, just take care of it. And I'm like, fine, I take a knife. Just chopped its head off. But it was one of those, like,
that's brutal.
This dang thing won't die. It won't die. And
we're constructing a metal song right now.
Do you want to die?
No.
Be my angel. Gab, what were we talking about? I don't remember. Tamara had said something yesterday, and Gabby lipped off to her, and she's like, you want to die? and Gabby's like, what? And I go, do you want to die? And she's like, Dad, that is not a real song. And I'm like, challenge accepted. And I grab my phone and I'm YouTubing it. And she's like, what? I'm like, it's the Toadies, Possum Kingdom. And she's like, what? And I'm pulling. She's like, you're making this up. I'm like, no, there's no band called the Toadies. And I'm like, and I'm like pulling this thing up and playing it. And her eyes get big, and Tamar's eyes get big too, because she was never into grunge. She's R&B and hip hop, and she's like, what is this? And I'm like, this is grunge. And she's like, it's pretty dark. And I'm like, well, it's about a serial killer, so hey.
Yeah, there you go.
There is something to it.
That's funny. Yeah, for sure. That's funny.
Oh my gosh, I love doing that though. Just like randomly singing song lyrics that just fit.
Yeah, you've got like a wealth of memorized song lyrics. I don't.
But they're not like appropriate ones. Like there's times at church where you're like, you want to start singing something. You're like, oh yeah, I don't know that church is the best place to. Baby got back. Oh, or,
nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of church, you should definitely come on Sunday.
Oh, you know what? I definitely can't.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm leading worship at Treasure
Oh,
Valley.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
I just picked songs and
I'm playing lead guitar on Sunday.
Oh, are you? Nice.
Yeah. I don't ever get to anymore. But when Hunter leaves, I'm probably going to have to transition to that role a little bit because Carly's good. But she's not going to want to play. I know she's not going to be able to play every week because I have her playing drums sometimes and bass.
And she's a killer bass player, dude.
Yeah, she's a really good bass player.
I really think she needs to find her spot in the bass, to be honest with you. She's killer at it. But you've got a few bass players.
Yeah, we have Mikey. We have Mike Boswell, who's on sabbatical. Mike
Junior.
Mikey or Mike Jr. Yeah. So I mean, we have, and then John, who's kind of on leave right now for personal reasons. So I've got like 5 basses.
Oh man.
When I tell people like how many people we have, they're like, "Oh yeah, jerk." Like
right.
my problem is like most people like, "Oh, I can't find a drummer, or I can't find a bassist, or I can't find a guitar player." It's like, "Oh, I have 5 of everything, and my problem is I can't get people on enough."
Right. Well, the funny thing about that is, though, you couldn't find a drummer for a while because I was filling in and stepping in to help with the drums and doing drums for a bit.
Yeah, it's true.
So there was a time when you weren't getting drummers, and you were struggling with some of these parts. So it's actually a good problem that you've fixed that, and you've moved beyond that problem into the other problem.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Ethan needed a break. He was playing every week.
Yeah.
So
and now they're finally getting married. So, congratulations. You finally stepped up and we're a man. Yay.
I don't blame him, dude. It took me a while to ask too.
What's a while to you though?
I don't know. Okay, so it's easy to figure this out. So
yeah, let's do the math.
We've been together for 12 years, 13 years this August.
Yep.
And we got married 9 years ago. So like it took me more than 2 years, probably 3 years.
That's not bad. They've been together for like 4.
Yeah. Have they?
I don't know.
I guess they have.
I don't know. I want to throw it out. I might be embellishing, but I haven't known him that long. It just feels like it. Hey, the world thanks you for muting your channel while you did that. Thank you.
I didn't mute. I just pushed my face away from the mic.
I didn't hear it at all, dude. That was awesome. That was good. It was good.
Yeah, I'm dying from allergies over here. Okay. Let's do some news. We've just been chatting away.
I know. It's been fun, though. It has been.
This is what happens when we don't do the podcast for a while.
I know. I know. Now, okay. Before we do news, though, I want you, because you're sitting there like, I'm dying from allergies. It's not a tumor. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like laughing about this. And okay, when Anthony, so most people right now are saying, oh, I'm dying from allergies. It's so bad. What are you allergic to? I don't know. It's all that cottonwood floating through the air. Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony legitimately is allergic to like grass. So when when people are mowing their lawns, he steps outside and he starts to like not die, but I mean he's like, oh, I can't breathe, and it like runs back inside his house. His wife, I don't know if this is like the biggest and greatest lie of all time, that every man on earth should figure out how to pull it off, or if he's being legitimate with this, because he's got his wife mowing the lawn every week. And then, and she okayed getting a riding lawnmower. And so I get over there and was going to pick up a guitar to work on a guitar for him. And she's out working on this lawnmower. It was brand new. And she's like trying to set it up. I'm like, you bum, you're not even out here setting up the lawnmower for your wife. You're a jerk. But other people were mowing their lawns and he's like, I can't breathe. And so I'm out there. I kind of mildly helped finish. She had it pretty well set up, but helped finish with the finishing touches. And then he's out there watching, and all of a sudden she starts cutting, and he grabs his throat, covers his mouth, and runs inside. And I'm like, I can learn from this man.
No, dude. The problem is, so I used to mow the lawn, and even with a respirator on, like I would like mask up. I would wear goggles, and even with that, my whole upper body would just be like hivey.
Oh, yuck.
And then the next day I would be like so congested I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk, I would be coughing, I'd end up with bronchitis. That's how allergic I am to cut grass. It's the worst ever. So whenever we move, I've told my wife, like, I don't care if we have to pay extra to have a pool that takes up like most of the yard. I don't want any grass. Like, I want almost no grass. I want enough grass for my dogs to have an area to play in and my kids to have an area to play in. And I'm never cutting it ever. And you better cut it like Monday so that by Saturday I can spend time in the yard. Like, I hate it. And a lot of people don't get it. They think like I'm just trying to get out of doing yard work, but
we need to
it's
get a
not.
bagger unit on that thing so it bags up.
No, I don't want to dump. That's another problem is whenever I dumped it, it would be horrible too. But
but you're not doing it.
I honestly, I legitimately have not mowed the lawn in 5 years.
I love how you just showed how your Italian side. I legitimately like you had like your hands going and like I legitimately have not mowed the lawn.
Yeah. That's everything in everything from Italians is hand gestures.
With a hand gesture. Oh my gosh, dude!
Well, I did even the East Coast too.
I did some audition. Yes, I did some auditions for a couple video game characters this week, and one of them was Italian, named Mario, and it was like this guy pissed off about somebody taking his spaghetti, and I'm like, "This is the sample script, really?"
That's amazing.
And I'm like, "How do I do this?" And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I was talking with my hands, and it goes off, and I'm like, "Yeah, this will work."
So somebody just popped into channel on the Twitch.
Yeah.
So there's somebody there right away and said, called us white boys. And then I said, hello. And that was it. And then they disappeared. And then somebody else pops in and goes, what do you think about Republican-backed Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu?
Well, you know.
And then I just responded and said, I don't know. I'm not up on current events in Israel. And then they left. That was it.
Seriously, they want to do like news shows? Like, do we look like news show? We're in t-shirts. How do we look? You're wearing a hat. You're muted.
What kind of news we do when we run the news? You can see that we are not up on current events.
No.
We're talking about weird stuff.
The type of news and current events we enjoy are like, how stupid can people be in Florida? Like, that's as far away as we really want to go. We go UK sometimes because they get some pretty dang funny stuff too. But come on. All right. Well, speaking of news, I guess we got people wanting it. Let's go for it. Here, I'll hit the news button.
Okay. All right.
Here comes the stupid. News starts now.
All right, you're up. It looked like it wasn't going through after a little while. Again, it cuts off.
No, I started and I hear like ba 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 ba, and then it goes away.
That's so weird because it's the same. Discord. All right. Anywho, things got hairy in the pool.
Yeah. I think you know where this is going.
To Florida. Let's go to Florida, people.
Yeah. Let's go to Florida again for the classic.
That's hint number 2.
Yeah. So, woman caught shaving legs at public pool in Florida sparks outrage. This is a fairly short one. I'm glad it is, actually.
I know.
The people who captured the moment on video were heard saying, "Oh my God, this lady is shaving in the pool. I hope she didn't shave her hoo-ha next." Fortunately, the video was cut off at that time. The video was uploaded to Reddit on Monday, where it received more than 55,000 upvotes and 1,600 comments.
Oh my gosh!
However, the post was later locked, which barred people from adding additional comments or upvotes. Of course, this happened in Florida.
Duh!
It's the trashiest state in the union. One social media user wrote. Yeah. So another quote. Yeah, I used to work at a public pool, and for whatever reason, they attracted the worst of humanity. I would never swim in a public pool after that experience.
Let's just say there's a reason there's so much chlorine in those pools.
Yeah, that's gross. So here's the funniest part about it. Florida being as weird as it is, you think they would think of this, but it was not immediately clear whether the pool was located, or if there were any rules posted by the pool. The Orlando Sentinel reported Florida has an extensive statutes regarding pool safety, which includes swimmers to bathe before entering the pool, no spitting, and no bodily fluids in the pool. However, there appears to be no statutes against shaving.
Probably because who's ever thought of it?
Yeah, think ahead, people. That's the end of the article. That is literally it. But I just thought this was so funny and so disgusting because
oh my video gosh. Dude, are you reading the comments down below this? That's what happens when you entice people from the Northeast to visit Florida.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. It's funny because that it's actually the exact opposite. Usually it's people traveling to the Northeast to visit. Most of the time it's not the reverse, but okay. That's what, we joke around about that funny ad campaign, The Spirit of Massachusetts.
Oh my
did I show you that?
No. I don't know.
Yes, I did.
Did you? I don't know.
I showed you this.
I think I blocked it out. I think I blocked it from my memory.
So back in like the 80s, Massachusetts ran ads all over the South trying to get people to come visit.
The Spirit of Massachusetts. Yes, you totally did. Okay.
And it's like this so goofy video, like a guy like fly fishing in a canoe, and it's like, the spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America, the spirit of what's old and what's new. It's like just the best.
You know what would have made it better? Is if they could have found a way to get Lee Greenwood to sing it. I think I would have gone.
Of like
I would have gone
singing it.
I know I would have gone though. I'd have done it.
But they got people to travel there. They got people to actually go there. And in the fall, Massachusetts, there's no better place. I swear. I love visiting Massachusetts in the fall. But the summertime, it's like muggy and it's like 180 billion% humidity, and when it's 80 in the shade, it feels like 120.
Yeah.
I would much rather live here in the high desert where at least I can escape the heat and the shade. It's humid here, but nothing like
it's not that humid here. I think most of the time during the summer, because we are technically in a desert, so we usually don't have too much humidity unless it's we're getting a storm or something. You can always feel
it's better than California. California is such a dry heat. I would my sinuses would just be completely dried out. I hated living there. That's why I don't even barely go back.
That's why most people from Idaho moved here from California. I'm just gonna throw that out.
Well, and it's only gonna get worse, actually.
I know.
My boss and I were talking about it, and projections are that a lot of people are gonna leave California and come here, like 3 to 5.
Oh yeah.
It's just getting worse, especially if Gavin Newsom gets elected, because there's a lot of people who just will want out at that point.
Oh, everyone wants out. I mean, come on, they're trying to. I laugh. I'm not wanting to go full on political here, but I do laugh when they're sitting there going, again, we want to secede from the United States of America. I'm like, okay,
go ahead.
Whoa. Like, pause, time out. Okay, you have Hollywood. Like, your entire economy is based on Hollywood and the Silicon Valley. That's it. Like, you guys are in more debt than anyone. You're buying power and water from Idaho and Oregon and Colorado. You're buying all of this stuff already. If you secede from the United States, there's tariffs on that crap. Your cost on that goes exponential, and all of a sudden, Idaho's an international distributor of power. And I mean, it's like there's higher regulations.
And Idaho's about to be.
It's like this is insane.
Actually, there's going to be a big influx of tax dollars here soon in the manufacturing side.
Yep.
And I've actually got some inside knowledge on a couple of companies who. There's a big company here who is based in California, but they have a huge facility ready, and they just bought an $8 million building.
Ooh.
And they're about to relocate their headquarters here into the valley, and there's going to be a huge increase in jobs.
That's awesome.
So that you might know the building actually. You know Madison and Cherry in Nampa.
Yep.
You know that giant building that was going to be a church forever.
Yeah.
They just bought that facility.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So my company's going in there to assess the fire sprinklers and make sure, because so this is totally off topic, but you have
what's been on topic
steel
today?
Yeah, nothing really. That's a classless chat.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
So
if you're new.
8 years ago, 10 years ago, that building was being built by a pharmaceutical company.
Right.
They got 90% complete and pulled the plug and then walked. So the building's all there. The fire sprinkler systems are all there. They've all been tested. So here's the issue. 8 years ago, they did their hydrostatic pressure tests on those systems. They filled them all with water.
Oh, they drained it?
And they drained it. Oh. So you have steel pipe all through this building that had moisture in it, and now you've inserted oxygen, and that's it. So I have no idea. I already told the owner.
Let's ask our children.
I could turn this on, and it could be Swiss cheese. There could be, literally, we could turn on. There could be leaks all over the building.
Yeah,
it could be hundreds of leaks per system.
Let's ask any grade schooler that's past the grade of third, and say, okay, you have steel. And you introduce water and then oxygen. What happens to steel? It's, corrosion. And then it starts to be eaten alive, like rust. And then it eats through, and it's horrible. Hi, Alicia. Can I get a refill, too?
I got a refill.
Can I have a refill, too? I'm going to put this through the screen. Yaw. Oh, look, I get it back. Yaw. All right. No.
Yeah, so that's what we get to do. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so that company, that building's huge. The main like operating factory area in that building, it's like literally 6 football fields. It's huge.
I'm jealous.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
That is
so cool. I think that's gonna boost the economy. And also I think that's technically outside of Nampa, but it's got a Nampa address.
Mm-hmm.
So Nampa, that's actually Canyon County. It's not really Nampa.
Yep.
Well, I think Nampa is going to annex some of that area.
Sure they are.
Because they want the tax money.
I'm sure they are.
So it could be pretty interesting to see what happens.
Star might, though. It's not. It's a little far from Star, but Star just
made
a little huge annex
battle.
Star just bought tons, dude. So who knows?
Oh, they're huge. Yeah, they're growing massively.
Yeah,
Star's like the up and coming area in the valley right now.
Yeah, it is.
They're trying to be like Eagle.
Yep.
But actually like country living Eagle. Like I could see what they're going for, and I think they're smart for doing it. They have big lots everywhere. All the houses are super nice.
Yep.
Star's a great place.
My
dad was actually considering buying there for a little while.
He should.
I know, but he doesn't want to move. I don't know.
He should have a summer home there that stores all of his guitars.
I know.
Wink, wink. All right.
Right.
All right. Well, hey.
So moving on.
Let's move on. Let's do a movie. We did the Lost Boys a couple weeks ago. We haven't talked about. I watched it a couple weeks ago. I should have watched it again to get back up on it, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies that it's actually pretty good, but I can only watch it so much. It's very dated.
It is dated, but it's really good.
It is good, but it's so dated. There are some movies that are dated and I don't care. I can watch the crap out of them. This is not one of them. For some odd reason, this one just, I don't know. I can't handle it. It's not bad. It's 97 minutes long, so it's a little over an hour and a half. But, yeah, it's just okay. It's good, but it's not. I'm trying to say, how do you say this? It is one of those movies that is good, but I can only watch it like once every 5 years.
I could watch it more often than that, but I agree with you, though. It's not something I would watch weekly.
No. No, I'm glad this is not a movie. One, I wouldn't let my kids watch it at this point. And two, I'm glad because my kids are still at the age where they want to watch something 30,000 times before it's taken off Netflix.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, Coco's now on there, which is what we're watching next week, by the way. Did you notice that I changed
awesome.
that? Did you notice that got changed? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've already seen it, so now I don't even have to watch it.
Well, hello, football Volfrain from Kazakhstan. Howdy. Hi from Idaho. We got chatting in YouTube, so yeah, all right. So this movie, it's good. It's rated R, 137 minutes, comedy horror. Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of both. It's not scary though. I mean, it might scare the kids, but yeah.
You know what I think it's funny? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Jason Patrick, Corey Haim, people like that.
Diane Wiest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has a nice Wiest. Sorry.
Alex Winter.
Yeah.
Yep. And Kiefer Sutherland, who I actually think this is his best performance, to be honest.
Yeah, sure. I don't think he did bad in it.
No. Of all the movies and shows I've seen him in, like 24, whatever.
I never got into 24.
Me neither. But I think that this was his best performance.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
I'm enjoying going
Prove
back
me
over.
wrong, I guess.
Prove me wrong. Hold my beer. So
Exactly.
I'm enjoying going back through some of these 80s movies and like seeing stars that are big today and like some of their early work. Like we watched Back to School last night.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield Back to School with the diving team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I totally forgot that Robert Downey Jr. No. Yeah. Right? Iron Man. That's Robert Downey Jr., right? I'm like spacing. Okay. Yeah, he's in it. He's the kid's best friend in college. Man. Yeah. But he's in this.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Watching it, I'm like, this is it's kind of awkward to see Playboy philanthropist that, it's all he's really known for now. He is so in that character. He is Iron Man. It's like after this, it's almost going to be like watching Sean Connery. It's going to take you like 40 years to be able to, really get a different part again.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's made enough money that he doesn't care. But
yeah, I don't think he cares.
Anyway, yeah, it's semi scary. It's got vampires. No. It's on the pier. It's got goofy kids. It's Goonies with vampires.
Was this filmed at in Santa Cruz?
I don't know.
I kind of feel like it was.
It could have been.
I've been to Santa Cruz. I've been to the beach boardwalk there a lot, and I was looking at it going, I think I recognize this.
It could have been, dude. I don't know.
It's funny because I don't feel like it's I don't know. It's not scary. Like, I don't like horror films, and I didn't feel like this movie was scary at all.
No, it's not. I mean, for the day, I suppose there were some, like for tweens, maybe you could get a little fright, like, no, but
yeah,
it's not scary. And the comedy isn't very comedic either. That's why when they call us a
grandpa's
horror comedy,
the funny.
The grandpa is the funniest part, yes.
Yeah, he is.
But I mean, when this is classified as a horror comedy, it's like, but it's neither a comedy nor a horror. It's
just a classic. But I love probably the funniest thing he ever says is he's like, looks like I'm not the only one that got lucky last night.
I love that, dude. Yes.
That part was hilarious.
So
I laughed out loud.
So what you want to hear from your grandpa?
Right?
Grandpa, ew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's out of 5. I'd give it like for nostalgia reasons, I think I would give it like a 3. It's 3.5 maybe. I don't know. It's okay.
I would actually even go as high as a 4 for this category.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, it is a good watch, and I could watch it. I could watch it more often than you could, and I do like.
Which is a shock, honestly.
Yeah, I guess it is. And And I feel like the acting in it isn't bad considering it's kind of a low budget film.
It is kind of a low budget film, which is surprising with the actors that are in it.
Well, this is before they got really well. And then what happened to? I want to know what happened to Alex Winter. What has he been in?
Who?
Nothing really.
You
Alex Winter.
Let's click and see. Oh, actually, you know what? I looked up and he's actually been in a lot. Well, one, they're coming out with a new Bill and Ted, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is super exciting. He directed Deep Web. He's been directing stuff actually for a while. But let's see here. He did a lot of
I didn't know that.
Did a lot of Robot Chicken. Did some shorts. Let's see here. He was the assistant in the Grand Piano. He did Robot Chicken, Medium Rare TV series, Ben 10 Alien Swarm, which is a TV movie. He's done some like made for TV stuff. Was on Bones, on Fever.
He was on Bones?
He was on Bones. I think just one episode, but still.
Oh, one episode.
Yeah. Let's see here. Freaked, Basic Values. That's another TV movie. Most of it, I mean, after like the 90s. So that's the thing is like Bill and Ted, and then he didn't do a whole lot. It's just been little pieces here and there. One of the biggest things that he did was Saul of the Mole Men, which was a TV series. He was in several of those. And then he did some TV movies, and it's just been some step-in stuff. But he's also done some directing. That's his actor credits. Let's see, what has he been doing for directing? Because he's got actually more directing credits than he has acting credits.
I see that now that I'm looking at it.
So Zappa, Trust Machine, Trump's Lobby, Relatively Free. These are shorts. TV movie Quantum is Calling. Kirby Buckets, which is a TV show, Bella and the Bulldog TV show, Deep Web documentary. Most of it's TV oriented and documentaries and shorts and like made for TV movies.
Nice.
Which is one of those things that you don't hear much about that anymore. But
no,
I mean, they're all over the place, but it's almost like, ooh, nobody wants to do that, but somebody has to, right? So yeah, that's what he's been doing.
Crazy.
But
I like him. I think he's funny.
I think he is, dude. I think he should have gone further and done more. I'm not gonna lie.
He's somebody I wouldn't mind seeing more of.
So, speaking of movies, since we're on this, I wanna look at this really fast. I wanna open this.
Well, when are you seeing Solo? That's the biggest question.
I don't know. I honestly, even after you said it's good, I'm like, I don't really wanna. I don't know.
Dude, go see it.
So
you have Movie Pass. Just go.
I know I do have Movie Pass. Well, it's with the kids though. I want to wait until it's like a cheap Tuesday thing. So, because the kids don't get a discount. I mean, for crying out loud. Okay. Took Josh to a movie that was it was still slotted for a matinee price. It was still over $8 for him to get in. And then he got a candy, which the candy was like 25% off, and a drink. And I still spent $20 for that kid.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, I can't do this. I'm not going to spend $20 per child to get them into a movie. Even with my Movie Pass. Tamar, myself, we both have Movie Pass. And then the kids go, it's like $35, $40. And I'm like, that's insane. I'm not doing that for the kids to show up to a movie. We'll wait for the cheap theater, or, matinees should be cheaper, but $8.50? That's stupid. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this really, really fast. I don't know if you saw it or not. You don't really follow a lot of the pre-release movie stuff, though. So probably did not. What's the guy's name? Sam Momoa? Is that it? Samuel Momoa?
I'm trying to think about who.
He played. Yeah, Samuel Momoa. There we go. He was on Stargate Atlantis. He was on he's actually in the DC world, he's Aquaman, the beefy buff guy now, right? He was Conan. He was in the remake of Conan the Barbarian. He was Conan. Samuel Momoa. 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 Anyway, they were in talks and they had brought him on as the new lead for The Crow remake. They're talking about redoing The Crow. Well, rumors have it that he might have actually left the project, so we don't even know if it's going to happen now or not. But which is interesting because we just watched The Crow. Tamara and I just watched The Crow. It was
Jason Momoa.
What did I say? Samuel? Oh,
Samuel.
Yeah, it's not. It's Jason.
Jason Momoa is he's Khal Drogo in
Game of Thrones.
In Game of Thrones.
There we go. See, and I don't watch the Game of Thrones, so that didn't mean anything to me. Anyway, I said
he's
the name wrong.
He's in a lot of good movies.
I said the name wrong. I'm sorry. It's Jason.
That's okay.
Hassan.
That's why it threw me off. I'm like, that sounds familiar. And I'm like Googling it. I'm like, oh, Jason. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. But anyway, talking about that he's potentially was going to be the new lead for The Crow. It may happen. It may not happen. I'm seeing like mixed reviews right now that he may or may not actually be the new lead for The Crow.
He would be great.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm almost torn, but at the same time, I'd want to see it.
Yeah. I actually really like him a lot. I think he's a really good actor.
He is a good actor. So, it's good. It's good. All right. Next week we're going to be doing Coco. So we'll go a little bit more kiddie style, so friendly for the kids.
And I actually really like that movie.
I did too. I don't want to lose my man card, but I may have teared up slightly at the end. Those things are hard for me anymore, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Alicia and I were pleasantly surprised. I think it didn't get enough.
Which is funny.
It didn't really get enough publicity.
But it did, though. Everywhere I went, everybody was talking about it. It was the Golden Child last year, man. It was huge. And but no, it's good. It's gonna be a good thing to watch. We'll like talking about it. We'll talk more in detail on this one than one that we watched 2 weeks ago and didn't rewatch again. So sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. It's okay. Don't kill us. All right. We got another news story here. It's what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. Or I could do it. What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. What's love but a second-hand emotion? Yeah, I can hit it. It's all right. It's all good. All right.
Oh, this is bad. I remember this.
Oh, dude,
I didn't read this article.
It is so bad, and we've all been there. We've all been there, just not necessarily to this extreme. Woman who sends 65,000 texts to a first date says love is an excessive thing. A Phoenix woman is facing numerous charges after she allegedly, I don't know that it's so much allegedly anymore, but she allegedly, for legal reasons, sent more than 65,000 text messages to a man after a first date last summer, many of them containing bizarre threats. Because who doesn't threaten someone that they want to see again? Right? I mean, police arrest 31-year-old Jacqueline Aids. Addies, maybe? Addies? Because it sounds better than AIDS.
Let's go with AIDS.
Jacqueline Aids. I don't know.
After this, I would have phone AIDS.
Right? No kidding. On May 8th, and charged her with threatening, stalking, harassment, and failure to appear in court, according to the Washington Post. Aids discussed the allegations on Thursday during a jailhouse interview with CBS affiliate KPHO TV. Quote, I felt like my soulmate and I thought we were sorry, I feel like I met my soulmate and I thought we would just I can't do it with the voice right now. I'm too tired. We would just do what everybody else did and we would get married and everything would be fine, Aids said. And adding that she met the man on Luxy, an online dating site for verified millionaires. That's why I don't go there. Anyway, AIDS, because you'll find girls like AIDS. Anyway, AIDS said she sent her date so many texts because, quote, loving him selflessly brought me his information.
Oh.
Right. Okay. According to police, many of the text messages Aids selflessly sent included anti-Semitic insults and threats. Like, don't ever try to leave me. I'll kill you. I don't want to be a murderer. And also, she said things like, I hope you die, you rotten, filthy Jew. I'm like the new Hitler. Man was a genius. Oh, what I would do with your blood. I want to bathe in it.
What the heck?
Right? It's creepy. Like, who says this crap? Authorities says AIDS has been sending as many as 500 messages a day since last year. But she's doing nothing else. I mean, seriously. But her efforts to connect with her former date become more extreme last month. That's when, which would have been 2 months ago. Sorry. That's when she allegedly broke into the man's home and took a bath in his tub. I don't know if she shaved her legs there or not. It doesn't say. But police say she also showed up at his work pretending to be his wife. AIDS is due in court on May 15th and will be represented by a public defender. She is being held without bond.
What? What
And
the heck?
She added this last quote. Love is an excessive thing.
No, you are just crazy nutcase.
Hold on. Let's see if we can add the screenshot. Look at her. Yay. There she is. There she is. Let's enjoy that right there. That is the face of crazy. Dear men, don't date that.
My buddy used to do some like online dating sites and stuff, and he had a couple of crazies that like tried to contact him for like weeks and weeks on end after.
Oh geez.
And he eventually just changed his phone number on one of them because she like would not stop bothering him.
Oh man. That's not
so there's definitely crazies out there. I mean, you just got to be careful.
I think most of us have dated a crazy.
Sometimes we think the crazy is good for us, and then we realize like later, like light bulb goes on, like, okay, time to move on.
This is bad. This is really bad.
This is not working out.
I think I have found AIDS. Sorry. Jacqueline AIDS, that is. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's a little early. It's a little early on a Saturday to be making those kinds of jokes, I suppose. I don't know.
No, it's not.
It's not
too early.
It's not. It's never too early for those jokes. Come on. Hey, boys and girls.
I still have yet to see The Killing Joke. I need to see it.
The Killing Joke. What is this? Is this a movie?
That's the that's the last Batman movie or animated Batman film with Camel as the Joker.
Oh no, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. All right, well,
it's rated R.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I want to see it really bad. That's rated R Batman animated film sounds amazing to me.
It does. I'm sitting here in my mind like, how did they get this rated R as an animated film? I mean, language and violence.
Because it's dark. It's really
dark.
That's
the thing is, Batman is supposed to be dark.
It's dark for Batman.
Okay, that's okay. Because when I think of
even Mark Hamill was saying like kids were coming up to him like, "Oh, I can't wait to see The Killing Joke," and he was like, "Don't you dare wait 5 years." Seriously, Mark Hamill is telling kids like teenagers, don't you dare. It's too dark for you. You're too young to see it.
Because see, I'm thinking like Michael Keaton dark. Like that was actually dark for I mean, it was appropriate. It was like closer to what Batman really is. And then they lightened it up again. They're almost like, oh, that was maybe too dark. It's like no.
I want Batman to be dark. Gotham's supposed to be dark.
It is. It is supposed to be dark.
Yeah, that's like the one redeeming thing about DC. Like I could do without
shy away from
Wonder Woman and but with like I could do without like the Superman and Spawn Man and Spawn and Batman are awesome. But Batman, I mean, that's like if it wasn't, I know, I don't know why.
That sounds like it's a sex thing. Like,
that's right.
Hey, baby, who are you? I'm Spawn Man.
Did you see my post about the weird pedo man that came to try to like take my kids?
Oh my gosh! Hello, are all these 8 children yours? Yes. I
know, what a creep, right? And I'm like, I was thinking. So I got to tell this story really quick, but I know Alicia's gonna want me to not be down here forever because she's supposed to work today. So I took my kids to this local park last night, which is my favorite park that I like to take the kids to.
Yeah.
And I invite Matt, True, and Sky, and me and Matt and his daughter and my kids have been going to parks, hanging out, and getting out and getting some energy out. And it's been a good time. Like I've been enjoying that a lot. And his daughter's basically between my daughters in age, so it works out really good. So, we're at the park, and it's like the worst experience I've had at this park ever. Most of the time when I go to this park, because I'm kind of close to Kleiner, everybody in our area goes to Kleiner now because it's brand new. It's super huge. Nice. Yep. Yeah, and it's massive, and it's got like 3 ponds and whatever else. And it's right next to the village, so you can walk over and grab a yogurt, whatever, like hang out with the kids there.
Go to the candy shop. You can go to the yogurt candy shop. You can do whatever you want.
So everybody goes to Kleiner now. Well, there's this gem of a park that's like maybe like a quarter of the size or a little smaller, right around the corner from my house. And so I've been taking my kids there. And usually there's just like 1 or 2 other families there with a few kids playing. And that's it. It's just little kids and their parents. So I'm like, this will be perfect. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be at Settlers. Everyone's going to be at Kleiner. We'll be here by ourselves hanging out. It'll be a nice quiet spot to just chill with the kids.
Yes.
So I invite Matt. That's my expectation. So we get there, and no joke, there's like a group of preteens. Like I would say the youngest one was maybe like 9 or 10. Okay. The oldest was maybe like 13 or 14. A small group of them hanging out there, not really disturbing anybody, not being like delinquents, but just being hanging out. Yeah, I've been there. I mean, when I was 13 years old, I was a mess. So I mean, I was much worse than these kids. Okay, I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Well, one of them had a mouth. So we're hanging out and we're letting the kids play, and this kid's dropping F-bombs and stuff, like right by our kids.
Yeah.
So Matt's not afraid to just like put someone in their place. So he just looks at me, he goes, "Listen, my daughter's right here. You watch your mouth." Right?
Yeah.
And like yelled at him. And the kid got all freaked out. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he did it again. And Matt yells at him again. And then the kid walks away, and this little girl's like right there. She's like a little smart alecky kid. And she goes, "Your kids are gonna turn out like us someday." And Matt looks at her and goes, "My daughter will never be like you." He said that right to her face.
Jeez, dude.
He said, "My daughter will have class." That's what he said to her.
Wow.
And she kind of like sulked and like walked away. So it was bad. So then Matt's like, "I'm never coming back to this park." And then it only gets so anyway, the boy comes back and apologizes and makes it right. "I'm really sorry. Blah blah blah. I don't I'm trying to work on my cussing, and I've been cussing for a while," and he just made it right. Shook Matt's hand and stuff, and I was like, okay, that's cool, that's redeemable. Like I can appreciate that kid that realizes I shouldn't be cussing around like 1-year-olds to 4-year-olds playing.
Right.
So he made it right. The other little girl didn't. She just sulked and like gave us dirty looks the rest of the time we were there.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah, naturally. But I couldn't believe Matt like literally just like I couldn't believe what he said to her. I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty ballsy."
That's pretty harsh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was harsh, but I mean, I get what he's saying. Like, I understood why he said that because, his daughter. He's trying to raise his daughter to, to not be a little snot. So I kind of appreciated that he was pretty blunt with her. Well, then things took a turn for the absolute worst, the creepiest moment I've ever had with my kids. So. Old man riding this like Segway. I can't even explain what it was. It was a scooter wheels right next to each other. Essentially, it was like a little like half moped without a front tire. So it was just like a Segway, but you sit on it. You know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen anything like this. No. Okay.
Me neither. So the thing has like these rainbow tassels that drag on the ground. It's like super long, and I mean it just was the weirdest looking machine ever.
Okay.
And he rolls up and I'm watching. I just got like an instant, okay, I need to like keep an eye on this dude because A, he's an old man and he's alone, and B, he's on this like weird like scooter thing cruising around the park where there's a bunch of kids by himself. I'm like, what? Like, instant weird, weirdo vibes pop up, pedo vibes. I'm like, this guy's a freak.
Yep.
So me and Matt are just chilling there.
Did you ask him? Did you look him square in the eye and say, "Can you have your lights on Halloween?"
No, I should have. So he rolls up next to me and Matt, and we're just chilling there. I have Arya, and Matt has Sky, and we're just taking a chill pill for a minute while the other kids are playing. My kids are running around, going up and up, down the slide over and over.
Yeah.
And he rolls up and he's like, "Hey, are all these kids yours?" And there's like, there's like that group of teenagers, and there's some other kids there. There's some unsupervised kids at the park.
Yeah, always.
There's no adults watching them.
Right.
And I'm like, oh yeah, they're all mine. Pretty much. Like, don't even, that's a really creepy question to ask somebody.
Yep.
Like, I'm immediately thinking he's trying to make me point out my kids so he knows what kids are accessible to him. Freak.
Yep.
That's my thought. And then I'm like, yep, all of mine. There's like at least 8 kids right in my immediate vicinity playing. Right. So I don't want to point it out. And then he goes, oh, so do you live around here? And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to indicate that my kids are near here, you freak. Like, I just knew this guy was weird from the very beginning. So then he asked me what part of the valley I was from. I'm like, I'm not from here. Like, I'm trying to be as vague as possible. I just don't trust this guy. And then he confirmed everything, that he was like a freak, because he looks me straight in the face and says, oh, your daughter can sit on my bike if you're okay with it. Nope.
Yeah.
I grabbed my daughter and walked away.
No. Yeah.
I couldn't hang. So I'm going to be reporting the guy. I got some pictures of him. I mean, I'm pretty sure there might be a law that you're not supposed to go hang out at the park by if you don't have a kid, you shouldn't be around the playground. If that's not a law, it absolutely should be a law.
I don't think it is, because how do you tell people that, hey, this is public property, don't go there? Like, you can't go there.
I mean, to protect kids, I feel like you shouldn't be, if you're an adult, you shouldn't be near the playground if you don't have kids at the playground. I'm sorry.
While I agree with it in premise, I don't think that should be a law. We start getting into this, once you start giving up liberties for safety, you have neither. And
no, I agree. I'm like the most libertarian.
I know.
But
I know. That's why I was shocked that you said that. I was like, I
was going to break this guy's face last night.
Well, Matt would have done it for you.
Well, we talked about it. We're like, if he comes back, we're gonna basically tell him to get the hell out of here, or else we're gonna beat him down.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad I didn't show up.
So, yeah, that literally almost happened. I mean, I probably could have gone to jail last night, but anyway,
wow,
that was side story there.
Yeah,
watch your kids, people. The pedos are out there, and they will.
It's getting warm outside. Did you know pedophiles are around you?
Well,
I mean, that's just
the pedos they're coming out of the woodwork, man.
They are.
I mean, like the guys, like,
they're not scared anymore either, which is what's really weird. Like, we did, was it Gabby's birthday or was it Josh's birthday? I want to say it was Josh's, not the last one that we did, but the one before, because it was last year. So it must have been Josh's birthday. There was a guy very similar, was just an older guy on a pedal bike, and he would ride around the park, and then he would come in and he would stop right in the middle of it, right where there's like a concrete pad, and he would just stop, and he started looking around, and he would scope people out, and then he would see where he'd want to go, and he'd start riding, and he would ride fast to get there and then slow way down, and he's just watching kids. And I'm like, I actually ended up telling my mom, she was right there, I was like, that guy legally should not be here. I think we might need to call the cops. And she's like, why do you say that? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's a pedophile. You just watch him. And the way he's acting, there's a good likelihood that he's already been in jail for this. Like, we keep an eye on that guy. And we did. And he finally just left. He realized there were enough of us watching, and he left.
Yeah.
Like, he finally just booked it and left fast. He's like, oh, crap, people are catching on. It's like, well, dude, duh, you're obvious. Gosh, for crying out loud. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I was watching this guy after he did that.
Yeah.
And then there was this little girl and her older brother, like, doing softball batting practice kind of around the corner from us in where the backstop was.
Yeah.
At the, it's kind of like behind a school. And they were alone, and the brother might have been 15. And I was just watching them. I had my Matt walked over like halfway, which was quite a long way, and was like filming with his phone, talking to them. Dude, he was a creep. And so after that happened, he split because I think he realized that Matt was like videoing him talking to people.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to be friendly, but you know, I don't know, dude. There's certain etiquette there.
Yeah,
you don't talk to little kids.
No, you don't.
No.
It's one thing if the little kid approaches you, it's one thing. But even then, you kind of you still stand back offish because you just never know anymore. All it takes is one person to make an accusation. And I think that's the difference is like I'm to the point where I do everything humanly possible to make sure that nobody could even accuse me of something because all it takes is an accusation and you're done. And it's like I'm like everything possible. Like nope. Make sure everyone knows there's nothing weird going on anywhere. And but then you get guys like that who are they're ballsy. They just don't care. Like, I'll do whatever I want. Who do their kids? Who are they going to tell? It's like,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like it's summertime, and the pedos know it's summertime. And some parents are just letting their kids go roam around right now because they're trying to get them out of the house for a bit.
They are. They're trying to get them out of the house. It's be outside because it's good for you. And I want to break.
Yeah, but the truth is that there's predators everywhere.
There are.
You need to make sure you like. And my biggest issue. No, it's not.
Dude, when you and I were kids, we would ride bikes wherever we wanted. It didn't matter. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I used to ride my bike through town to go down to like Taco Bell and stuff when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, and nobody thought
it's a totally different world now. No one even cared. Yeah, and like my biggest fear, like my daughters. I mean, as you know, both my daughters have delays. They're both on the spectrum. They're both autistic to some degree, and
absolutely hilarious. I swear, if those girls are not musicians and comedians, you screwed up as a parent.
My daughter is my oldest daughter definitely has perfect pitch.
She does. She totally does,
which is really amazing. And I can't wait until she has the attention span to take music lessons because I'm definitely going to give her that. Mm-hmm. Get her into some sort of music lessons right away.
Yep.
But they don't understand stranger danger at all.
No.
And it's not something I can even talk to them yet about because they're not going to get it.
No.
And so when I'm out in public, I'm watching them like a hawk because they think everybody's their best friend.
They do. Oh,
and that's just the thing with autism.
They see anybody and it's, hey, mister. And it's so it's so cute, but it's like, you know who I am, right? Yeah, you're Mr.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mr.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
You'll get it one of these days. One of these days it'll be like, Drew. And I'm like, yes, I am.
That's funny.
All right, well, hey,
you want to do a kid story?
Yeah, we've got a story. Let's read a story, and then we'll do a story, and then we'll be done.
We'll call it, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean it's been almost 70 minutes. It's been a little over. An hour.
Sweet.
It's been almost an hour and a half with the pre-show, so that gives people an idea of how long the pre-show was. So it's good. If you're listening to the audio only version, you can either go on Twitch, which is Disciple Gaming 7, right?
Yeah.
And then
we've had a couple people pop in and out on there.
Awesome. So you can go view this on Twitch, or you can go on the YouTube channel and watch it there. So get the pre-show because that is only available on YouTube and on Twitch. It's only on the video streaming. Anyway, all right. Let's do a story written by a grade schooler. Let me find the pirate music right here, as I've lost it. There it is. Are we ready, kids? All right, here we go. Let's do. I do believe it's time for another delectable tale. Won't you join us down on Storybook Corner? I lay in my bed, looking up at the ceiling, thinking about what to do next. High school starts in only 2 hours, because junior high ended an hour ago. Anyway, but there's just one problem. This high school isn't like the others. You may not believe me, but it's a superhero school. You might be laughing your head off, but I assure you, this is all real. My parents are Flash. And believe it or not, my mother is Black Widow. Because in this world, DC and Marvel work together. I know. How could this be real? A DC comic dude marrying an Avenger. Seems a little ridiculous, doesn't it? It's funny that this kid knows that. That's awesome. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Alex Buster. Where did the Buster come from? Okay, sorry. Supposedly, the greatest superhero of all times is what my parents say. That's not what I want to do, though. I want to be a doctor, but my parents don't approve. They are wanting me to have superpowers, except I don't have any. School starts in 30 minutes, and I'm planning on playing the too sick to go to school trick. I'd make a fool of myself breaking in the news in front of the whole school. Cough, cough, cough. Better stop writing in my diary and pretend to be sick. Achoo, achoo, achoo.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fun. All right. I think it's hilarious, though, that we get the understanding that this is DC and Marvel and they don't combine.
Right.
But they did.
That's funny.
Speaking of which, though.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, unfortunately, I had to read along because when you play the music, your mic cuts out.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't even hear it.
Oh, suck. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I am super excited for The Incredibles 2.
I know, that's going to be awesome.
That and the two movies that I am the most excited for that are coming out, which just seems weird because they're both animated, and I don't care. But it's The Incredibles 2 and Teen Titans. Teen Titans. Remember the TV show, the cartoon? They're doing the movie the exact same way.
Oh, awesome.
And I am so excited about this. I'm like, because I loved Teen Titans. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited. I think The Incredibles is way overdue.
It is way overdue. But it'll be good. I'm excited. We'll have some fun with it. We'll definitely go and watch that stuff. It's really bad that I'm more excited to see The Incredibles and Teen Titans than I am to see any of the new Star Wars movies. I could go without watching Solo. I mean, I've seen some good reviews on it, but then again, there were a lot of good reviews on the last Star Wars movie.
Dude, you know what? I think that's why it's not doing so well. It's just people are saying, "Oh, fatigue or whatever." It's no, Marvel's releasing 2 films a year right now, and everyone's watching. So yeah, that's BS. It's because they alienated half the fan base in the last movie, and I gave it a shot.
The last 3 movies. What's really funny though, here's the funny thing: the people who like Episode 7 and Episode 8 absolutely hated Rogue One. People who appreciated Rogue One because it was actually a decent movie. It just wasn't totally Star Warsy, right? Yeah. There wasn't the Force. There wasn't all that other stuff. I mean, there kind of was, but it was just, there was no Jedis. There was nothing else really going on. And everyone dies in the end. Sorry, it's been out long enough. I can say that.
Yeah, you can.
The people who appreciated that and said, that was actually a really good film, hated Episode 7 and Episode 8 because Episode 7 and 8 are a piece of garbage. Absolute piece of garbage. Okay.
To be fair, I think Episode 7, some of the crud oozed backwards into it from 8. 7 was actually the stuff that was set up in 7. If Rian Johnson hadn't abandoned all of it, it would have been fine. But Johnson gave Abrams the middle finger and then trashed all of the plot lines that he set up. And to me, I'm not sure that I want to see 9.
And they did a whole rewrite on 8 too. They didn't even.
They rewrote it. Yeah, right. Abrams gave him a sample script and said this is probably a good place to start, but he just scrapped it because he got full creativity. And I'm sorry, but that movie's garbage. I don't care anybody who defends it. I don't understand it. It's not a good film at all.
No, it's
a high budget film, and it's beep beep bleep 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 and all that. But besides all that, the context and all the story writing's just not good. I'm sorry, it's just crap.
I agree.
But
I
Solo
agree.
was a breath of fresh air, and it actually got me excited about the Star Wars universe again. I would recommend you see it, man, because it's
all right.
I mean, I know it's divided, but there's some people who are still mad about The Last Jedi who are just downvoting the film because
here's
they're
the thing.
mad.
Here's the thing, though. This is what I'm seeing is the people who are complaining about Rogue One are complaining about Solo, which actually makes me excited to see Solo a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be. I'm just
because
telling you,
I like Rogue One.
I think it's the best of the new. I think it's the best Star Wars movie that Disney has made.
That is also what I'm seeing. Is the people who liked Rogue One are saying that exact statement. Is this is the best that has been put out from this. And
well, it better make money because they signed on this kid to do 2 more films, and if it doesn't make money, then they're probably not going to make more films.
Right.
And so I hope it makes money because I want to see this guy as Solo more. Because he did a really great. I mean, at the first half of the film, like I said before,
2 more films. Like, what else are they going to do? Are they doing more Solo movies?
Oh, they're talking about making 2 more, and I could see how it could become a trilogy because it's actually set up at the end to add more. It's years before. Han meets Luke,
right?
Where it leaves off. So it's good, and there's some interesting possibilities with these next 2 films, and once you see it, you'll see why. Yeah. And I really wish people would just go see this film.
No, I mean, I get where
it's not perfect, but it's I love it. I love the film.
I get where companies are sitting here going, we paid a lot of money, Disney, we paid a lot of money to get this, we want to get the most money out of it. But I feel like filmmakers right now have lost the art of making it a solo film. I'm not talking about Han Solo. For sure. I'm talking about just making a single film, a film that is made to be a standalone film. Everything now is set up to where you're going to make more of them. Yeah. I mean, there are so few movies that are coming out that are just meant to be that one movie. And it's all got to be a franchise. That's where the money's at. That's what we want. No, it's not necessarily what people want. It's what we have. It's what's available. It reminds me of the movie Airheads. If so-and-so's so much better of a musician, why isn't he racing up the charts? Well, it's because boneheads like you won't play him. It's like if people would actually make movies, I mean, there's a reason why there's a huge portion of the population craving and screaming for the return of 80s movie styling. Yeah, it's true. It was an authentic form of writing. It was authentic. It was silly and cheesy, but it was enjoyable. Yeah. And it's anyway. I'm gonna go off on a tangent. Let's just stop.
we should call it.
We should call it. It's been almost 80 minutes, so we're good.
I gotta eat.
Yeah, I do too. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys so much. It has been an absolute blast as always. So it's join us again on Wednesday, hopefully. So here in a few days, we'll be back in a few days. Yeah. It's good. But we wanted to put another one out there so we were not just falling off the bandwagon. So anyway, thanks guys so much. Have a great weekend. Not a great rest of the week, but have a great weekend. Enjoy the family. All right. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Classless Chat with your hosts, Drew and Anthony. Listen again next time. You never know what these two are gonna say.